Hello everybody, I am Dr. Prasanna. I am gastroenterologist and hepatologist at Apollo Hospital, Bangalore. On the eve of World Hepatitis Day, I thought it's wise to discuss with some of the frequently asked questions by the public, general public. The common notion about hepatitis is that it's invariably a killing disease. But however, the hepatitis is manageable disease. To give you a brief introduction about hepatitis, it's a viral disease. It's I should say multiple viral diseases clubbed together to form a viral hepatitis. There are two types of viral hepatitis which occur. One is the blood transmitted and what we call parenteral transmission. The other one is the orofecal transmission viruses. The orofecally transmitted viruses do not cause chronic hepatitis, so we leave them apart. Epidemiologically, which is more significant, is are viral hepatitis B and viral hepatitis C. These viruses cause a slow virus. These are slow viruses basically, and they cause the liver damage in the long run, maybe decades. They take decades to cause liver damage. There is always an acute form of viral hepatitis with these viruses as well, but however their proportion is much lesser. How does one get hepatitis B or C? Hepatitis B or C, they are transmitted by blood or other body fluids or from mother to the baby. When we say the blood transmission, usually it is blood transfusions or exchange of semen, saliva sometimes, and the sharing of the infected needles by the drug abusers. There are other methods, but these are the most common ones which we see. Why should one worry about these hepatitis B and C? These hepatitis B and C, one should worry because they invariably cause liver disease, and this chronic liver disease in good significant number of patients progresses on to become cirrhosis, and it can cause liver failure, it can cause some complications like liver cancer as well. However, it doesn't occur in everybody, so we can say that up to 1/3 of the patients who are infected with hepatitis B and C, they suffer from one of these complicated hepatitis. How does one know that he has hepatitis, he is suffering from hepatitis B or C? Unfortunately, we don't, majority of our patients, except some of the patients who have acute hepatitis, like acute hepatitis, when I say, it means they have fever with jaundice. That's very obvious, and patients will invariably go to the doctor and seek medical help. But however, when it comes to chronic hepatitis, the patients with chronic hepatitis will not come to know till they have the complicated course, like they land up with end-stage liver disease, or they have some kind of complications like liver cancer. So how does one come to know that he has hepatitis B or C? It is by simple blood tests which are available in most of the laboratories available even in a smaller town. So if the these hepatitis B and C, if they are silent, how does one detect? As I said, it is by small blood test which is very easily available. And who are the people who are at risk of developing hepatitis, who are at the risk of getting the hepatitis B and C virus? These are the patients who have previously had received a blood transfusion before this testing of the blood transfusion or their products became routine somewhere before 1995 or so. So people whoever have received the blood transfusions prior to this, I recommend that they should undergo hepatitis B and hepatitis C testing. Also, patients who undergo routine health checkup for any other diseases, invariably there will be hepatitis screen nowadays available in majority of the hospitals. Also, patients who undergo any liver function evaluation tests, any slight abnormality found on either on the blood test or on the scanning of the liver, I recommend that they should undergo hepatitis B and hepatitis C screening, because it is one of the common infections which we see in the community. Now, if these viruses are so deadly, are there any methods to prevent them? Yes, there are. The methods to prevent these viruses are, one is as far as medical practice is concerned, there is what we call as universal precautions. It means that any body fluid, any person who comes in body fluid has to immediately get his checkup done for hepatitis, pre-existing hepatitis B and C, and also of the patient from whom these body fluids originate, like either it could be blood, saliva, or any other body fluid which is removed from the body, or even semen for that matter. The other common methods which should be followed to prevent the transmission of hepatitis B and C are following safe sex procedures and avoiding needle sharing, and taking precautions like in some patients like hemodialysis patients, they have to be cautious and keep checking their hepatitis B and C regularly, and any lady who is found to have hepatitis B or C during their pre-pregnancy or during pregnancy screening, if they are found to be infected with hepatitis B and C, they have to immediately follow up with a hepatologist and a gastroenterologist to prevent the transmission from mother to the baby. There are methods available, there are procedures, and there are drugs available to prevent such a transmission from mother to baby. So when we say viral diseases, the common question which comes to any person's mind is, are they preventable? Yes, hepatitis B and C are preventable, but the most important prevention, as I said, is universal precautions. But apart from that, hepatitis B has a very effective vaccine, and in some of the countries it is almost universal. However, hepatitis C doesn't have any vaccine as of now. There are less chances that hepatitis C vaccine will be available soon. So once the patient has got hepatitis B or C, what should you do? The first thing he has to do is meet a doctor, and the doctor will invariably ask him for multiple tests to know whether the hepatitis B and C are active, whether the hepatitis B and C viruses have already caused some damage to the liver, or if they are whether they are in replicative phase, means whether they are multiplying in the patient's body and causing damage, or they have stopped multiplying and then lying silent in the patient's body. Depending on whether the virus is multiplying and causing the damage to the body, the person qualifies for treatment. If the viruses are silent, majority of the times such patients only require follow-up, no active treatment as such. But one thing I would like to convey, I would like to inform the public through this media is that if they have hepatitis B and C, there is no chance, no reason to worry about. There are effective treatments available. Most of the hepatitis B can be controlled before it lands up, before the patient lands up in an end stage or a complication. So it's wise, the moment the person comes to know that he has hepatitis B or C, it's wise to rush to the doctor and take his advice accordingly. The other thing, apart from the hepatitis B and C treatment, once the patients have, the invariable question which is asked by the patients is that what diet they can follow to prevent the further progression of the disease. There are no specific diets as such, and the diet which is commonly followed by any patient with jaundice or any patient with liver disease, like restriction of fats and then colored foods and all, it is more of a presumption, it's a myth rather than the reality. In reality, they should avoid alcohol, and they should also avoid putting on excess of weight, because excess of weight, invariably a part of it gets deposited in the liver and then can add to the liver problem which is already there because of hepatitis B and C. Such patients who are already infected with hepatitis B or C can also have some of the other infections like acute hepatitis A, acute hepatitis E, or acute hepatitis D in case. So there are vaccines available for hepatitis A. So such patients should avail the facility, and this will invariably informed by the following gastroenterologist and hepatologist with whom they are consulting. But however, right now there is no vaccine available for hepatitis C, but soon, in another few years, we can expect that vaccine to be available. Should that be available, I think it should be given to patients who are already infected with hepatitis B and C. The other common problem faced by these patients who test positive for hepatitis B and C are, especially if they are going abroad, we have seen multiple cases where their visa has been rejected at the last stop because they had a medical report showing that they have hepatitis B or hepatitis C. If they follow the universal precautions, most of these patients are either they silent, most of them are silent, and they will never be able to or never transmit the infection if they are working in an office like setup, unless they are in healthcare professional. Healthcare professional have to be cautious regarding transmitting it to their patients. There are multiple new drugs which are available now for the treatment of hepatitis B and C. In the next few years to come, there are many drugs which have proved their worth, although they are not available right now in India, but we expect them to be available in a couple of years. And they are highly effective, and the hepatitis C treatment, which otherwise was not all that fruitful, may become very, very effective with the new drugs to come. So to conclude, gone are the days when the detection of hepatitis B and C used to be almost like a death sentence. Now we have effective treatment available for both hepatitis B and C. If not curable, most of them are controllable if they are detected early in their stages. So anybody who comes to know that he has hepatitis B or C shouldn't waste much time and then be in contact with their gastroenterologist and hepatologist. And I assure them that the best care available can be taken, can be given. Thank you.